This is from the lemonade from last night. It still smells like the lemonade. This is a yogurt drink, but I am making a yogurt drink. Negrita. Does anyone know what is a little negrita? Well, when I was in Buenos Aires, Argentina, I heard a small amount of insinuation of something wrong in Argentina. There are no black people in Buenos Aires, Argentina, except for I was introduced to one black basketball player. I guess Lexia didn't really cover that the other Americans that wanted to go to Argentina, that they would make black people while they were down there, because he did speak English. Yeah, but he didn't come with Lexia. Lexia is Lexia. Lexia is the program that I went with, that they organized, that I would have a place to stay down there. And they would tell me where I'd go to school. Yeah. I used the Lexia program for about 4 months. And then I stayed down there without Lexia. I still got credit for school. I went to school in Argentina, and I went back to the University of Wisconsin, and I transferred the credit. But not without Lexia being the first half of the study, and then the second half, they just accepted it. They should have told me when I was transferring the credit from South America to North America to University of Wisconsin. The counselor, or what do you call him, advisor, somebody who works for the university. I don't know. I don't have those office keys, but he did. He didn't tell me. Well, we just don't want to have you back at the university for more than 1 year because we don't have any housing for you. I didn't want to stay at the university any more than one more year, senior year of university, because I didn't have anywhere to live. And I also didn't need the credit. I really do very well in school and didn't need the extra time after 4 years. I wanted to work. Yeah, but I have a small conundrum with work. When I'm done with work, I have to leave, and then I need more money. And the university should be paying for that. Yes, I don't know who else has this problem, but I needed the university paying for the time in between my jobs. I don't actually need my parents to pay for that, and I don't have savings that would pay for that. Well, I'm a student, many years of being a student, and I don't have that I can work a full-time job because I have student um not loans but like tuition paid. And what you did was try to birthday in all the people who pay out payroll. And you can't do that because I know and I understand what they do for a living. And I do leave them that it is not mentally stable to pay out payroll. I do leave them that that's wrong to me. Yeah. But I still need money. So, my dad's job. You know, when I was employed, none of my employers asked me, "What is your dad's job?" Because we all want to know how my dad could afford to work the same job from the year 1981, 1982. When did he announce that he was working? Well, I asked him, yeah, because he was driving me in a car. I said, "Dad, what do you do?" I didn't say dad, right? I asked him, "What do you do for work?" Yeah, I was already in school myself. He said, "I'm a life insurance agent," and then he never left my house. Yeah, but he's not allowed in there because I threatened that he has to be in prison. Yeah, I'm past that. When I asked him, "What do you do for a living? What do you do for work?" Because he was driving a car at the time, how did he pay for the fuel, right? He said he's a life insurance agent. And it turned out to be for Northwestern Mutual Life Insurance Company. And it's in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Doesn't make sense because Northwestern would be in Washington, Oregon, or maybe Northern California and West, you know. What else? What about Montana? Yeah, Northwestern United States. So I'm not from there. Yeah. How old was I when I asked Dad that question? Before I said Dad, yeah, I didn't call him Dad yet. I don't call him Dad unless it's Cheryl's fault. Yep. Cheryl didn't remove her parents and get off her parents' money because she doesn't know how to go to jail and prison. You can't get off your parents' money unless you're in a prison. You can't be in public and get off your parents' money. You can be in prison and get off your parents' money. And you'd be in prison like it doesn't have an address and you're really in there and you can't get out. That's how you get off your parents' money. You can't do that in public. I think you should get off your parents' money. You can't do that. You can't say that. You can't do that in public because it's alive in public. They're parents in public. If you need to leave your parents, you need to go to jail and prison. Jail and prison meaning to be in prison. You can't actually be in public anymore. I think my parents like me because I'm me, but they're due in prison means I don't actually want to mix with their karma. You can't just say, well, I like you personally. Yeah. I don't actually afford what you are in this world, which is you don't know how to go to jail and prison on a point. You just don't. You don't go to jail and prison on a point, and I can't afford that you might have a point right in front of me. Yeah, you want me to pay for that? You want me to go to jail and prison for you? Let's say that's true. Okay. Let's say you want me to go to jail and prison for you exactly when you're angry. Okay, let's say the way that would happen is who, what, when, where, why, and how, right? All of that will be myself saying, oh, well, and I'll just go to jail and prison the wrong way from my point of view, but I'll do it for you. So let's say I did that for everybody who's past the point that they would have gone to jail and prison on their own point for their own self. I would be in jail and prison 30 billion times, but you only care that I go to jail and prison exactly when you are angry. If I had to count how many times that is in my life, that would be every day of my life. But every day of my life is not every day of every one of you being alive. How many people is that? I don't know. If I was to go out in public, let's say I went to the nearest outlet mall, so Las Vegas Premium Outlet Mall, I can walk there from here. Um, I can walk around the outlet mall. I know when I was full height, I could walk there. I'm not full height now. I don't think I've been there since I'm not full height, but full height walking to Las Vegas Premium Outlets. So I can walk around that mall as outdoors. I could go into any of how many stores are there? Outlet stores. I don't know. Let's say there are 100. But I don't know. It's true. It's an outlet mall. And I've seen things change. They don't always have the same everything stores. The stores can be different. Say there's an attendant in each of the stores, right? So that's 100 different people. If I want to buy one item out of every store in the outlet mall, I can't carry that many things. Okay. I don't have that much money. Let's see. I don't know how to make the point that I could go to jail for every attendant in every store of the outlet mall, and I can walk from store to store. I can walk the whole outlet mall in a few hours. So how many times can I go to jail in the outlet mall? If I say I don't want to pay for an item in one of the stores and they tell me to leave, that's me needing to go to jail. I could have to go to jail on that point. On your point that you think I owe you money. I'm none higher than he deceased right here. But if you're an attendant in a store in the outlet mall, and there are 100 stores in the outlet mall, and I go from one store to the next, and I go up to the register, and I say, here's this one item. I want you to give me leave that I can leave with it. I'm not going to give you any money. And they say no to me. I have to go to jail on that point because they think I'm a shoplifter. Are they going to go? No, because they work there. They're on payroll, schedules, they have commitments, and they are maybe even parking. And what if they're not parking? Are you an illegal, alive human being shunt who works in an outlet mall and you're not parking a car? You just appeared there and you're going to disappear there at the end of the day. That's not being a good employee. That's you being a trespasser just like me. But you stand behind the counter and behind the register and you take people's money. How do you even know how to do that? I can't stand up to any of one of you. I've been alive in the state of Wisconsin and not in Nevada, and I'm here in Nevada, and to me, everyone here in Nevada is new, but you all have a birthday just like Becky. Yeah, you're not in the state of Wisconsin and you have a birthday. You put me in jail for every word out of your mouth. So, so I could go to try to pay for an item in each of the 100 shopping mall stores, and all of you attendants belong in jail for taking the payment, and you don't go to jail, you say next, and you charge another customer. And I don't afford that you do that. I don't afford that you take people's money and you don't go to jail. I just don't afford it, and there's no way to tell you that you're wrong to me. No, I have to go to jail for you, and then I have another problem. What about the racist people? Okay, so let me back up. I'm at the outlet mall, and I have to go from store to store. And if there are 100 stores at the outlet mall, Las Vegas Premium Outlets, I have to go to jail 100 times in one day, but I can't get it done. I can maybe go to jail once in one day. Yeah, but I'm not going to jail for you because I'm none higher than he deceased right here, and I create the prisons. But if you get angry in the heat of the moment that I'm not going to pay for Las Vegas Premium Outlets, the Nautica store, I'm not going to pay for a sweater at the Nautica store because I'm none higher than he deceased. I'm not going to jail for you. I create the prisons. What do? Put me right out of the Nautica store. Get out is what you said to me. And I'm not going to jail for you. Oh yeah, get out is what you said to me. I have to go through every store in the outlet mall, and that's what my day is going to look like. And I don't have myself in jail 100 times because I'm just me. I'm not going to jail for you because I create the prisons. I'm a founder of the order and I create the prisons. I don't go to jail. Were you angry that you don't want me to ever come back to the Nautica store? I'm in jail in that scenario. Did you get angry in the Nautica store that somebody's not in jail before you told them to get out of the Nautica store? Do you have a racist problem? You're speeding at the speed of a live, speaking English. You mean God didn't take care of that problem for you? You're going to take care of what problem for God? You're going to put none higher than he deceased in jail and prison so he never comes back to the Nautica store because you think he's a shoplifter for not paying your charges at the register. Exactly what money would you like me to give you? Because when you accept payment at the register, do you even know where that money comes from? If I say that to you at the register, you wouldn't leave forever. You would say, next! And that doesn't speak English. So do you see black people in school? Because I went to school with a little negrita named Charlotte Johnson, who doesn't want to be called a little negrita, that she went to Mexico after I came back from Mexico at my own expense. And Charlotte Johnson doesn't want to go to Mexico and stay there and be a little negrita. She wants to continue to be educated, speaking English, preparing to go to the university just like Becky. How do we know she's a racist? We know because there's such a thing as Charles Toe internet account for YouTube. Is he just an Asian person who just didn't want to be called an Asian person and that he needs to go to Asia because he's Asian, or if he can't get there, he should just stay outside and wait for God to come and get him? What's Charles Toe doing in my apartment? Is he just a little racist? He doesn't have an Asian problem, that he's Asian, he doesn't speak an Asian language, he doesn't live in Chinatown, he doesn't live in Asia, he doesn't live in Singapore. What does he want? I'll have what you have and give me your keys and get out. Maybe. But why? Charles Toe, do you want to rape somebody really quickly so that you're in control of everything, but you didn't beat her to death? Yeah, but you look like you beat her to death. Are you 5 feet 10 inches tall and 230 pounds and you didn't beat her to death? Yeah, why'd you rape her, though? Well, you don't rape somebody unless they say no, 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 no. They say no to everything, then you might rape somebody. You don't just rape somebody because they're not yourself. You know, he raped me 900 times. Yeah, but we don't know why. How does he know how to get all up into myself and say, but I know you cherish yourself? And he raped me 900 times. Yeah, but I'll tell you what he didn't do. I cherish myself. He raped me 900 times. He put me out of the order eternal. But I'll tell you what he didn't do. He didn't save himself. Was it, I'm not going to jail for you. And I'm also not a feeder. And that's what he wanted me to cry about. I didn't give him what he wanted. I am not a feeder, which means that I would send him on his way with a little something that he could invest in himself. I'm not an investor. Charles Toe, 23 years of testing me. What am I going to give him so that I can be away from him because I don't like him? And he's racist doing that. He speaks English because of somebody else. I didn't form him. I didn't form any of you who formed him and eat him. His penis has been in my mouth, but I don't eat him. Nope, I am financially independent from Charles Toe's penis in my mouth. I gave him everything yes. He yesed off. You can see Charles Toe Internet YouTube channel because Charles Toe yesed off. And I call that announcement, financial independence. From Charles Toe, penis erect, ejaculated into my mouth. Charles Toe yesed off. He's not here. He's missing. I just woke up from a dream. I'm not making a dreamsicle. It's morning. I don't have a morning dreamsicle. But I woke up from a dream that Charles Toe didn't have relatives, other Asian people who would have been like a support for himself while he's not here. But I was not here. I was, I don't know, lost. I was just lost in this dream. I knew about Charles Toe, but he wasn't in my dream. But I was thinking about that he might have been with other Asian people. But he was like not able to get them to be with him, to financially support his mental capacity. Do I say it that way? So I don't know if he's alive or not in my dream. I don't know. But it's racist because there's something about Charles Toe that's not paid for. Whatever his motive, is that, let me say it another way. Whatever his reason was for not leaving my side for 23 years, what was he running from? I heard Gilly Lebner say, "You are supporting a fugitive from the law." Well, I am announcing to Gilly Lebner, if he can see this video, if he's anywhere in Las Vegas, Nevada, or anywhere in the U.S., or Canada. Gilly Lebner, I want you to know that Charles Toe yesed off. I gave him everything, yes to death, and he yesed off. Yes to death of myself. You know, I die every time I say yes. It's not alive. Yes, it's yes to death. Yes from me. Yes to death of myself. I am deceased. And Charles Toe is not here. He yesed off. I would not say for sure that he's not coming back to here because he has the keys. He has the keys to here. And I would say when I'm not here anymore, when I'm not alive anymore in the formed world, that's how everyone knows that Charles Toe is not going to return with his keys. Well, the reason I say yes to death is because I'm not going to jail for you and I didn't ask you not to hurt me. You want me to ask you not to hurt me? Why, have you all been given beatings by me before? Because you don't say that to somebody, you don't threaten them that you're going to hurt them and that they should ask you not to hurt them so that you can have some kind of agreement with illegal. It's illegal to ask somebody if they would cooperate with you doing something against their self, and then it's illegal to say no because it might be alive that way. Well, the ask is quite a hook. I didn't say that to you. Little Negrita, Charlotte Johnson. You don't want to be a little Negrita in Mexico. You could learn Spanish like I did. I didn't learn in Mexico. I learned elsewhere. I learned in Costa Rica. I learned in Argentina. And I also learned in school first before I went traveling. But Charlotte Johnson could just be in Mexico for a long time and she could learn how to speak Espanol. Yeah. She could be a little Negrita. Does she not want to be a little Negrita? She's not racist. She didn't ruin my life. Oh, she ruined my life? And I have to just say she ruined my life? It's my life? Oh, well. Yeah. Well, I guess we have to live this way while the world is populated in its racist burdens of proof. If you are a black person, you're not due to speak English. If you're an Asian person, you're not due to speak English. Why do you speak English? I don't know. There are people with light colored hair who make black people who speak English. If you have light colored hair, like brown hair, light brown hair or blonde hair, or light brown hair with light blonde in it, coloring of hair, mixed hair, not just from hair dye, but if your hair just grows in multiple colors of light blonde. What about like dark hair with a little light on top? It looks highlighted, or maybe somebody was out in the sun and their hair got lighter. So if you have light hair, like light blonde hair or light brown hair, you can alive Black people who speak English. You're alive that way. They're alive that way. It's already alive. There's nothing you can do. So I received a comment from a Black male adultery picture, like the little circle on the side. It's a very small picture that looks like he's laying on a pillow on a bed and looking at the camera, and click took a picture. Click, I have to say click because he touched a touch screen is really not due. Somebody should not give him a touch screen. They should have fought over that they didn't give him a touch screen. Because you have racist problems. Somebody gave this nice Black person a touch screen camera phone that he's using to post on YouTube a picture of himself to tell me hi. Yeah, but it says hi in the comment. What is it? That's a little negrita problem. Does he have a little negrita? He needs to live in Mexico and speak Spanish and be the kind of trouble he is to somebody else. Ooh, don't start those comments with me that you know that I'm at Fremont Gardens Apartments, Las Vegas, Nevada, and that you're threatening the front door here. Yeah, I need a death on myself, but I'm not supposed to know that God's doing that. You're racist if I can see that God's making the threatening. Yes, you are racist if I can see that God is threatening me with Black people who speak English and Asian people who speak English. You are a huge public of racists that I can see that. God might be doing that, but they should be further away from me so that I don't know it. Don't you want God to take care of things for me? You want me to take care of things for God. Charles Toe is an Asian person. I lived with him for 23 years intimately. And he's Asian. There isn't anyone from Asia who came looking for him, like a psychic. No, because he's past that. That's so interesting that he's past Asia. What's he doing and none higher than he's housing? I'm not really someone who lives a modest living. I'm none higher than he deceased. I'm everything that is big and excellent. I would not just give what little I have to an Asian person because he's afraid of himself. You as a public are a huge burden of racist. You don't have it paid for that Charles Toe was not in pursuit of my money. You should see him count it. You can see how high he can count the money. How high he can count the money because he doesn't speak English. You should see how high he can count the money. 23 years he can count the money that high. He's paying my expenses for 23 years. He's still technically paying for it on this internet. Belonged to Charles Toe. He got it in his name and said I could use it. If you don't fight with the Black people that they're racistly eating white people's money, and that's because the white people belong in prison, it's you don't actually have an argument that somebody's over somebody else in the identity. You have to see the motion in alive. What is Superior Founder saying about you to you? Like, what is he saying in like the threatening? Because it could be a Black person could tell a white person that the Black person doesn't need to be formed. The white person is living off of a Black person having been formed. You can argue that in public, but you need to go to jail. That's the only place you can really finish it, is you go to jail and prison because you want to die out of what you don't like in public. Well, the front door, there's still Mitch coming through the front door, and Brian Figus, and then I don't know who else, because I have to get food delivered here in a few days. I'm about out of food pretty soon. So I need Smith supermarkets or wherever I get the delivery, if I get one, if I'm still alive. Then I need, I don't know who's coming around here. I am not racist because you are yourself. It depends what the motion is. And the motion in this case is the black male adultery with his head on a pillow while he's like on the bed, I guess, in this picture. But it was just the circle was just this big, it was just a circle pretty much of his head on the pillow, and the rest of it, I guess, the bed would be all around the small circle picture that I can see. Um, that's the little negrita problem. He needs to go to Mexico to find a little negrita to give that picture to her. Yeah, from him. And I don't afford to say that to him, so I said it right here on the camera. Superior founder, I have no home in the money right just now, is what I heard. I'm gonna get hammered with comments about how racist that is. That's because you don't know what racist is, because you don't have racist self. Do you think I'm a racist? That's you don't know how to pick a fight in public. You don't know which side of racism God is on because it matters what he says. You can't say if somebody's a racist because of the color of someone's skin. It matters what the racist person says, the black person says. It matters who's racist. It matters what the black person says. It matters what the white person says to know if somebody's racist between a black person and a white person. It could go either way. So I'm not a racist that way. Comments are open.